Coming to you all the way from Norfolk, Virginia, Go On Podcast presents The Sexperts.
Beep, 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 beep. Turn on your computer, dial up the web, download some information into your head. It's Dr. John and Delilah, they're having a great time. Da-da-da-do, it's simply true, we're the Sexperts.
And we're recording and intro music, and hi there, welcome to The Sexperts. I'm your host, Dr. John T. Alanese, SCPM, that's Senior Certified Professional Midwife.
And I'm Delilah. Hey there, fortune cookie writer.
Man, you sound confident, but fortune cookie writer. Are you like one of those madmen, like the Don Draper types? Is that what you're all about now? You cocky?
It has given me an identity and a confidence that I could have only dreamt of.
You wouldn't think that, because like a lot of the fortune cookie things are either vague or like they're kind of wimpy, or they're just like love, you'll find true love or something like that.
Well, imagine taking your date to a Chinese food restaurant, and there's like a 15% chance that when she cracks that cookie open, you wrote it.
I didn't think of it that way. Do you do the famous like corny thing where you have to add in bed to the fortune cookies and?
No.
Yeah. Oh.
Mine are good. Mine stand on their own.
Okay. They don't need in bed at the end there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I mean,
a lot of them say in bed, like you don't have to add it. It's already there.
Like what? What are you writing?
I I write some dirty ones just to keep it fun. Or like I wrote one last week that just said, if you need me, I'm probably be in bed.
So if
they're sort of like my voice, my fortune cookie voice is sort of like Kathy, the comic strip character.
Okay, well now I want to crack open. Mildred, can you order Chinese food? Thanks. She's got a modem inside her iron lung. That's my wife. Okay, so
I love Wi-Fi enabled.
Oh, is that a pun? Wi-Fi. Okay, all right. So we're getting way off topic already. We are the Sexperts. We are your Sexperts. We've been serving the greater Earth for 75 years. You're welcome. Sorry, I got a little cocky. It's kind of emanating from you, Delilah. We talk about sex. We get your questions, so send us an email, therealsexperts@gmail.com.
Try and stump us. I mean, how long has it been since we've been stumped? I haven't been stumped in a decade.
Haven't been stumped. So never been stumped. That sounds like a topic of the day, like never been pegged or something. But that's not our topic of the day. We have a different topic of the day every week, different location. I'm in my recording bunker. Where are you recording from, Delilah?
I am in Chinatown, but the one in Denver.
There's a Chinatown in Denver, Colorado?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. Let's talk about our topic of the day. Let's introduce it, and then we'll introduce our guest. I really want to hear his perspective on this. So I've just been wallowing in misery this whole pandemic, been locked in here, because Mildred is in an iron lung, and she's a high-risk individual. But we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. The vaccine is coming. Hooray! Thank you, Fauci. Oh, Savior Anthony Fauci, Saint Anthony Fauci. So we're going to talk about the COVID vaccine, but there's some misinformation about the side effects. So we're going to talk specifically about the COVID vaccine and the sexual side effects of the COVID vaccine. That's our topic of the day. So, but let's introduce our guest. Hi there. Welcome. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Welcome to the show.
G'day, fellas. I'm Bruce Dilday. Yes, that Bruce Dilday, the original singer-songwriter of Men at Work.
Whoa. Yeah. This is
that Bruce Dilday.
I mean, we've had several celebrities on the show, but I would have to say that I am an Aussie-phile. I love Michael Hutchence of NXS.
That's great, yeah.
I love, your band, Men at Work. Just those are the only two Aussie bands I know, but I love you both.
What about the Bee Gees?
Didn't Paul Hogan have a band?
Did Paul Hogan have a band? Dilday?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny you should ask, actually. So as an Aussie-phile, you probably know that I wasn't in Men at Work when they hit commercial success. I was kicked out of the band by that dirty wanker Colin Hay, that wall-eyed bastard.
Oh.
But I did actually go on to make a band with Paul Hogan.
Whoa, what were you called?
Crocodile and the Dirty Undies.
Well, that sucks. Were you the dirty undies or the crocodile? Because
I'll let you guess that one.
Okay.
All I'm going to say is chomp chomp.
Aha! So you made Paul Hogan get the dirty end of the stick there. Okay, cool. Well, welcome to the show. Like I said, like I'm a little starstruck, and again, I love all things Australia. I love the way they work their toilets, how they flush the other way around. They say the Romans with their aqueducts were like the masters of architecture, but I say you pit a Roman against an Australian. I don't know who's going to win that architecture battle. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's your toilets that spin the other way around. Ours go the right way, and yours go the other way.
Yeah, I can see that.
I've been trying to get a plumber to fix mine for years. And he says there's nothing he can do.
Because he's not Australian or Roman. Okay, well, so what band or what musical project are you currently working on?
Well, actually, I don't know if you know this, but I kind of soured after a little while with music, so I kind of went on a different path,
Oh.
Yeah, my career's kind of been a comedy of errors, really. I keep seeming to invest in things right as they're going off market, if you know what I mean. Like I got really crazy into rollerblades. Remember that? The rollerblade craze?
Yeah.
Inline skates.
Did you say the word semen though earlier? I heard the word semen.
I mean, I may have.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I like transitions, so let's transition into. I want to hear your ideas about. Speaking of semen, the COVID vaccine sexual side effects. I actually have a list from Dr. Fauci.
How about we let him finish his thought?
Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go back to the rollerblades. What are you doing now?
Yeah. I just I went way balls deep into rollerblades. Right. I became a rollerblade. You may not believe this, but in Australia, rollerblades are really, really popular. At least they were in the 90s. I became a rollerblade champion of sorts.
Of sorts?
And
or
then,
for real?
Who could have predicted that quads were going to come back into style?
What are quads?
Oh, them skates with the... Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so I think they're just called roller skates.
If you're not in the industry, they might be, but if you're in the industry, everybody calls them quads.
Quaddies, I don't know if you know this about Australia, but we kind of nickname everything, right? So we call them quaddies.
Wow.
Those derby queens, the roller derbies that came back. They're back in style now. They went out of style in the 70s, but I think that's what brought quads back,
The word derby is Australian. It used to be called Derberado, but they nicknamed it derby.
Yeah, we nickname everything.
Derberado. Don't you
I'll
build?
be honest with you, I can't stand the Eagles.
Yeah. You know what? Let's get into it. Let's get into what is your musical taste like? I know you guys had you split from the Men at Work. Yeah. What do you do? You do ska? What do you do now?
I think I'd describe my sound mostly as maybe Australian Gothic country punk.
That's going to take we only have 20 minutes for this podcast.
How does that differ from English Gothic country punk?
Well, we put a lot
I should say British.
Yeah, I mean, we put a lot of cute nicknames into our songs. But, Gothic nicknames and things like that.
Gothy?
Gothy.
Yeah, perfect, right?
Goth Australian?
Oh.
Gothy Aussie, yeah.
Gothstralia. Oh, my God. That's
mostly the western half.
I was just throwing out album title names suggestions.
Yeah,
it's good. I like it.
What are the geographical differences? Like in the United States, we have the South is full of hicks. I'm a dumb, ignorant little bitch. And the North, we got like, hey, yo, quit busting my balls. I'm rude and I'm crude. And then we got the Midwesterns where they're like, hey, how's it going? Welcome to Iowa. We don't like minorities. And then we have, the West Coast where they're like, oh, let's smoke a doobie, man. What are the regions like in Australia?
What a great tour of our country.
I've been working on a one-man show. I miss Texas. Texas is different. It's like, I'm going to count to 10. I'm going to shoot your ass in the Alamo. What kind of...
I meant to text you earlier this week. I had a title for your one-man show.
What is it?
50 States of One Man.
Whoa. With Dr. John. Okay. So what are the kind of cultural differences there in Australia?
Well, can I just say that you hit you hit that nail on the head. every perception that we Aussies have of the United States. You hit it out of the park, my friend.
Well, it's truth in comedy, my friend. What do you got? Yeah. So the West is goths.
Well, out near Perth, right? That's in the western side of Australia.
Yeah.
It's basically rich, entitled people and some shitty beaches. That's really all you got there.
Okay, well, that's like us, California. Okay.
Yeah, and then you kind of ring around the bottom. You don't really go into the whole middle section. There's really not a lot of anything there. It's desert, ruse, cacti.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You said ring around the bottom and hole in the middle, which leads me to our topic of the day. I do want to get to that because I want to hear your perspective.
We need to make some time for that.
Yeah, I do want to get your perspective on, speaking of ring around the bottom, the COVID vaccine side effects, the sexual side effects, particularly with the sphincter.
Well, I have a question about Men at Work, if we could bring it back for a sec.
Yeah, go for that.
What was rock bottom that caused you to get kicked out of the band? What happened there?
It's actually kind of funny. So I was the original singer and songwriter. I wrote all the songs. In fact, every song that you know of Men at Work, like Land Down Under, right? All those songs, that one and Overkill, I Can't Get to Sleep. I wrote the original songs, right?
Right.
But I wasn't really going for pop appeal or commercial appeal.
You weren't?
No. See, originally, Men at Work, we were supposed to be a rock band, right? We didn't really care about impressing all the Shirleys out there, right? But we met this bloke, Colin, right? Who, by the way, Colin Hay, the singer that you guys know from Men at Work, he's not even an Aussie. He's a Scot. He's from Scotland.
Are you an Aussie?
100% true.
Are you an Aussie though? Because I'm hearing a little Michael Caine kind of like seeping in a little bit.
No. I'm 100% Aussie.
Are you sure?
What you're probably thinking of is I come from a small area south of Sydney called Wollongong, and we have a little bit of a different kind of accent than the rest of the Aussies.
Okay. No, I didn't want to call you out or anything like that.
Isn't Michael Caine Australian?
Wait, now my head's...
He vacations in Wollongong. That's the problem. He's very influential in my small town, Wollongong.
He's influential pretty much around the country. I mean, around the world. Michael Caine is like Santa Claus in some ways.
Well, jingle my bells.
He does bring gifts to the children of Wollongong. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that.
Now, did we ever get to your project? What are you working on? What are you working on right now? How can the people hear you? What's on top of your plate right now?
Well, so I mentioned that I have a bad history of investing in things, right? So right as the pandemic was kicking off, I took all of my life savings and I put them into a new idea, startup that would invest in travel, that would pack as many people as possible into a small plane and take them to 5-star Michelin restaurants around the world, right, to eat indoors.
No, you can't do that.
Call those Mishies?
Mishies.
Yeah, Mishies. Yeah, we should do. 5-E's and Mishies. That's what we call them.
5-E's and Mishies. I love the accent.
5 stars. And if they had the Michelin rating, we call them a Mishi.
Wow. Oh my God. My mouth is watering to think about it. But of course, because of COVID, you can't do that stuff. So
no, exactly.
So what's plan B? What'd you fall back on? What's going on now?
Well, I have a GoFundMe out there to help me pay me bills because, like I said, I invested all my money, and my investors, or what we call investees, they're all over me nuts. I owe them a lot of money, is what I'm getting at.
What's the nickname for GoFundMe? That's kind of a mouthful.
Right now, I'm calling it pay me.
Pay me. Hey, I love, and Australians are direct, man. They'll tell it to, they're like the people up north. They're like, hey, I'm direct and I'm rude. Give me that. That's my taxi. So, you must be.
If you send me the URL to your GoFundMe, I'll include it in some of my upcoming fortune cookie.
Sure. GoFundMe /Bruce Dilday, Dilday, Dilday. No funny jokes on that name, by the way. Bruce Dilday is broke as fuck.
Okay.
All one word.
All one word.
It's all one word, yeah.
Hey, Delilah, talk to me about, do you have a supervisor, or can you just put whatever you want in those fortunes?
I can put whatever I want. I made the contract I signed. I retained all creative license over my properties and creations.
Do you also get
I have a question about the fortune cookie, or what we call forchies.
Forchies, yeah. Go for it, Dilday.
See,
So-
we tried calling it four cheese here, but people got it confused with the pastas
Yeah.
at Cheesecake Factory.
Four
Pasties
cheese.
is what we call those. But,
Okay.
so my question is, have you ever written a fortune that turned out to be absolutely 100% true and changed somebody's life?
Oh, good question. I like that.
See, I put a contact number on the back of my fortunes and on my forties, and I asked people to reply when it comes true, and they haven't yet. But I'm sure they're just too busy.
Follow up
Sure
question:
have.
do you get a commission on that?
No, I just get paid per cook.
Wait, what's a cook?
That's short for cookie.
Wait, no, you put E at
So
the
we
end
actually
of
call
things.
them cookies.
Wait, but God, they are cook. Okay, I don't know. Okay. Anyways, hey, it's blowing my brain right now. Speaking of blowing my brains, let's get to our topic of the day, which is the sexual side effects of the COVID vaccine. Because you do want to take this COVID vaccine.
Do you have a family you're providing for? Like, or is this just a go fund you, just you?
Oh,
Well, once I got kicked out of men at work, my wife left me. And then I got a new Shirley, right? And then when we got into the rollerblading, I ended up meeting all sorts of sexy Shirleys all over the Australian coast. And I kind of did wrong by my missus.
oh,
And, yeah, so that one didn't last too long. But now, I'm pushing 65. So
wow.
kind of, I'm over the ladies now. I mean, I probably, I still live that rock star life a little bit, so I probably got a bunch of little dildays running around. But, for the most part, the GoFundMe is really just for me and my investees.
Let me go back to you said Shirley's. Is that short for Shirls?
Oh, yeah, so Shirley's is in Australia, we just call women Shirleys for the most part.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Betty's, Shirley's, just a kind of generic name,
yeah.
woman's name. We're not exactly
they must
forward thinking from a...
They must love that.
That's really weird. Do you have that show Laverne and Shirley where you're from? Because that's a weird title. It's basically just like Laverne and some other girl. That's weird.
Yeah, you know what? I actually just saw yesterday that unfortunately one of the guys from Laverne and Shirley died.
Yeah. That's the guy who played Squiggy.
Yeah.
What is...
Which, Squidward is his real name, and we call him Squiggy, and that caught on.
Women here in the United States used to be called Shirley's, but
Oh.
the movie Airplane put an end to that.
Why is that? Was there a plane crash or what?
Don't call me Shirley.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Is that a documentary or what's going on there?
Yeah, watch it after the show.
Okay, well, I guess I'm not in the know about that. Well,
All I'm going to say is what's your vector, Victor?
what's your vector, Victor?
Which wouldn't work for us because we call all men Bruce.
Listen,
And
What's your
vectors are
Vecty?
Veckies.
What's your Vecty?
Yeah, what's your Vecky, Bruce?
listen, I am not going to tolerate this. Is not a comedy show. This is an informative podcast all about sex. So we can't be quoting other movies here. We do have to get to our topic of the day, which I actually have a long list, and we're running out of time. We're actually going to talk about the sexual side effects of the COVID vaccine, and I'm actually looking at the list, and there are none.
That's good.
Yeah. So I guess that's it for the episode. Thank you so much. Is there anything that you want to plug now that we've run out of time, Bruce Dilday?
Well, I think the one thing I'd like to plug is fuck Colin Hay, and don't ever buy a Man at Work record because I don't get any of that money. And Colin Hay is a wall-eyed thief of my lyrics that he reappropriated to become pop music. And, really hurts my insides.
Yeah.
It tears me up inside when I think about him.
I am so sorry to do this to you, Bruce. Sorry, I'm getting a call right now. Hold on. Let me, oh my God. It's Colin Hay. Sorry, I have to take this. Hold on. Hello. I can hear you. I can hear your stupid podcast. And you tell that dildo to get off my nutsack. Tell me he's a fucking piece of shit, and I got more hits than he has in his little pinky tar.
Well, you can tell Colin Hay that he can kiss me on my little, he can lick my little bummy.
Did you hear that, Colin? He hung up. All right. Well, that's it for the Sexperts. Once again, there are no sexual side effects for the COVID vaccine, so fucking get it, dumbasses. And that's it. My name.
The only sexual side effect is you're more likely to hook up if you've had it.
So that's
You're
it.
more likely to survive the hookup, that is.
Okay. Oh, last words. Sorry, Bruce. I almost wrapped up. Any last words or plugs?
Yeah, fuck men at work.
Okay. I guess you did that one twice. Okay. So,
Here we go. Invest in rollerblades.
Okay. Good one. I just took a big swig of ice. That's it for Sexperts. I am your host, Dr. John T. Alanese, SCPM.
I'm Delilah Haydair, and you will soon develop antibodies for something that's been bothering you in bed.
See you sex time.
Where'd everybody go?
Da-da-to-do, it's simply true, we're the Sexperts.
Thanks so much for listening to the Sexperts podcast that go on podcast production. If you like what you heard and you want to keep this little show going, then please consider donating at paypal.me/sexpertspodcast or donate $1 a month at patreon.com/sexpertspodcast.